All right, so this past weekend, I did my first solo gig since I moved
Nice.
to the new town. So I moved from the big city. I was in a band, and now I'm in a small town, and I have no band.
Time to restart.
Well, I'm working on getting into a band, but that hasn't started yet. And the singer of my future band, who's like well known in the area, he got me a gig at some like bar in like downtown, whatever.
Nice.
I'm trying not to like dox myself.
You're doing good.
I was honestly going to cancel this gig because like he asked me like a month in advance or maybe 2 months in advance. I was like, ooh, yeah, that sounds fun. And then like the closer the date got, the more I was like, I'm not ready for this at all. So I was like trying to muster up the courage to cancel. And then out of the blue, he messages me and says, hey, are you still good for this? And I couldn't think of an excuse to not do it fast enough. So I said, yep, sure am. So
Nice.
I immediately start practicing. I'm like learning new songs because I got to fill up an hour and a half slot and it's just me playing guitar and they didn't want like me singing or anything, which I wasn't going to sing anyways. But like I'm used to playing with a band. I don't know. Like I'm trying to figure out how to get backing tracks sorted out, whatever. So I found this app. It's called Jam Zone. And basically you could take all of your backing tracks or you can find backing tracks to like most popular cover songs and you can take the vocals out. You can take the lead guitar out, rhythm guitar, whatever. You can like separate it all out and make like your perfect backing track.
Can you put it into like a set list?
Yeah. And then you can add it to different set lists.
Oh,
so like
nice.
I have all of my favorite songs, like favorited.
Not sponsored.
And then but please, I had my whole set list planned out and it saves all of your presets. So I can like change the key, change the tempo. I ended up like, I realized my old band, we played everything about 6% faster than the actual song. Because I was playing the songs, like practicing, I'm like, damn, this is slow. Bump, 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 bump. And like, whenever I hit 6, I was like, now it feels right.
That's funny.
I literally like couldn't play the songs. So I had all of the stuff set up, ready to go. And then I was just practicing because they had an app on Mac. So I was just practicing on my Mac, blowing it through my speakers and practicing along with the guitar. And the guy was like, yeah, they have sound equipment. Like you should be able to plug in, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, I guess that works. But like the chick was on vacation who was bringing the sound equipment up until like the day before the gig. Oof. So he couldn't get me the exact information on the sound equipment.
Is it like a Mac? What? You have no clue what it's going to be?
He was like, she has a PA and a mixer. And I was like, okay. But like, you know, my Mac is a Mac Mini. I can't just like it's not like a laptop. I can't just take it there. I don't have a laptop. I don't even have an iPad. It's like on my phone and I got this Mac. And I'm like, I guess I'm going to have to play it off my phone. So the day of the gig, I messaged the guy. I'm like, look, I got to know what kind of sound equipment that she has. Because I'm trying to figure out if I can actually play my music. He's like, oh yeah, it's this mixer. And I like look it up. I'm like, okay, I think that's going to work. But it has like an aux in, but it's like a 1/4 inch like instrument cable.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go, I'll go to the local music store. I'll buy a bunch of stuff. And I'll see if I can get like a cord. So I go up to my local music store. This is the day of the gig. I'm running around. I'm trying to make a tip jar. I'm trying to restring my guitar, which I didn't even get to. I'm running to Walmart, O'Reilly's, because I bought a gas can and wrote gas money across the front of it. I bought a gas can at O'Reilly's. And I was like, oh, I'm going to cut a hole in it so people can drop tips in. I'm going to write gas money.
That's cute.
So I went to Walmart and bought like a big ass box knife and like Sharpies and all kinds of stuff. And then I get home and I'm like, all right, time to cut into this flimsy ass gas can. Dink. Knife won't even penetrate the surface. I'm like, what the fuck did they make this thing out of? It's made out of like pure steel.
Yeah, sure.
Dude,
this is a plastic gas can, right?
Yeah, it's just a plastic gas. I bought like a cheap plastic gas can and it was like, no, this is industrial quality. So thanks, O'Reilly's, I guess. You ruined my plan. So then I had to take the lid off of it and like dig the filter out of it. I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. So I'm running around doing all these errands. I go to the local music store. I'm like, hey, I need to plug my phone into like a mixer. It's a 1/4 inch jack. And then I have a lightning port on my phone. So I think what I need is just a long cord. Like I had the dongle at my house. I was like, I just need a long cord with an aux port on one side and a 1/4 inch jack on the other. And they're like, we have that. I'm like, bet. So I buy that and a bunch of other crap there. I bought new cables and everything. I spent like $100 there. So I get home and I'm like, okay, time to test this thing out. Where the hell's the dongle? I know I have a lightning to aux dongle somewhere.
The one you just bought, right?
No, I bought an aux to 1/4 inch cable. So I needed the dongle that would connect the aux to my phone.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
My phone doesn't have an aux jack. So I'm like destroying my apartment, opening every drawer, looking in every bag, everything. I cannot find this fucking dongle. So I'm like, oh my God, time to go back to Walmart. So I go back to Walmart, I buy a dongle, I come back home, and I'm like, okay, now we're going to test it out. I plug the dongle in, I plug it into my DAC, I blast it through the speakers. Sounds like shit.
Like the audio's bad? Is it glitchy? Is it broken?
The audio is like, the audio sounds like
compressed.
Yeah, it sounds like I pretty much plugged an adapter into my phone into a shitty cord that was 10 feet long and then plugged it into my thing and then ran it through my Mac, which came out the speakers. It sounded like the audio had gone through some shit by the time it came out.
Because it has, yeah.
So I'm like, son of a bitch, what am I going to do? I start searching again. I find my lightning to aux cable, not the dongle, but like an actual aux cable that has a lightning port on or a lightning connector on one end and an aux jack on the other. So I'm like, okay, I call the music store back. I'm like, hey, do y'all just have an adapter that changes an aux to a 1/4-inch jack? And they're like, yep, we have that too. It's like $4. I'm like, bet. I run up to the store. I buy that thing. I'm like, thanks. This is all I need. I come back home. I plug that shit in. It sounds a little better. It's not perfect, but I'm like, it'll do for this. Now I can at least plug it into the mixer. We'll be good.
Nice.
So by the time I get all this shit sorted out, get my stuff packed in the car, I'm running 10 minutes late, which, I was getting there an hour early anyway. So it wasn't the biggest deal, but I was stressing out.
Yeah.
Because this is my first time meeting this dude who's going to be the singer of my new band. So I'm rushing to get to this gig. I drive all the way there. It's like a 30-minute drive too. I get there. I start setting up my stuff. And then the girl shows up with her mixer and she's like, hey, I don't want to use this mixer if I don't have to. I'm like,
what's the alternative?
She has a little guitar pedal that like plugs her mic and her guitar in. And it has an aux port, just a normal ass aux port. I'm like, oh. So I just ran around and spent like $30 on shit that I don't even need. I bought a dongle. I bought an adapter. I brought a 15-foot
You tested
cable.
all this?
Yeah, and I tested it all. I've been going around all day. I'm like, okay, sure. I'll just plug in the aux. That's fine. So she gets all this stuff set up and it's like 30 minutes before I'm supposed to start now. I'm like, okay, cool. I plug my guitar in and then I plug in the aux into her little pedal thing. And then that all supposed to go out the PA. I hit play, no sound. I'm like, where is it? I'm like, I did not prepare a plan B.
But this is her guitar pedal thing. It works for her.
Yeah, but she doesn't use backing tracks. She just plays acoustic and has her microphone go into it.
Oh, fuck.
I'm using a port that she doesn't even use on this thing.
Okay.
So she doesn't know if it works. I'm like, oh my God, dude, come on, please. Like, I need something to work. Well, worst case, I can always plug it into my amp, but that sounds like shit. It doesn't sound good because like I have to mess with my amp settings and make the guitar quieter. But like doing that, adjust the tone of the guitar. I'd rather just have it going through separate channels out into the speakers instead of all through one thing. Anyways, we're messing with it. I'm like, okay, well, let me try the adapter. So I get the adapter, I plug that in, I move her mic out of the way, plug my guitar into a different one. Doesn't work. I'm like, why? Like, why is it not like this worked on my other equipment? Why is it now not working over here when it's like the exact same principle? My guitar works when I plug it into this port. Why is my phone not working when I plug it into this port? This is stressing me out. I'm trying to get it all ready. And I'm like, she's like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I didn't know you had all this equipment because I got like freaking pedal board, my amp, all this shit. She's just an acoustic guitar and singing type of chick, She has one reverb pedal and that's the thing I'm plugging into. Like, it's very simple. So I'm like, okay, well, let me just plug it into my amp and see how that goes. I plug the shit in my amp. I get all the volumes adjusted, hit play. Of course, it works. It sounds like trash, dude. It sounds like mud. I'm like, I just practiced for 2 weeks with perfect sound and I get to the gig and I have something that sounds like total shit. My guitar doesn't sound good because I had to turn the amp down in my modeling software and like none of it sounds how I practiced it, And I'm like, this is such a letdown. But luckily it was just like my family and stuff like there. It wasn't a big gig. But
that still would bum me out.
Yeah, but I moved down here and this is the first time any of them has seen me play in the last like 10 years. So I wanted it to sound good and I wanted it to be good. Anyways, so I start the gig. I'm playing, doing my thing, and I'm adjusting the stuff on the fly as I go, trying to get the volume sorted out. and I get cooking. I'm like probably 10 songs in or so. And I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. I texted you before the gig, said, do not call me.
All this time when you were stressed out, I was also stressed out because I see a text from Jason that says, hey, I'm going to be playing a gig using my phone as a backing track. Do not call me 2 times because then it'll go through the Do Not Disturb thing. I had so many reminders on my phone, like every 30 minutes, hey, don't call or text Jason because I just text you about my day. I'm like, Jason, I just dropped the biggest shit. Oh, I can't tell him anymore. I was stressed out for you.
A text would have been fine.
I know, but I was scared.
Dude, I texted every person that would normally call me and said, don't. I texted my buddy Brent. I texted Ryan. I texted you. Y'all are the only 3 people that call. Oh, I texted Chris. Those are the
good plan.
4.
I call you sporadically throughout the day.
I know, and everybody does, and that's fine. I love that. So I start playing Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan. Ooh. I do the intro. Whatever. The drums come in. We're dude, out of nowhere, backing track stops. I'm like, the fuck?
Do you stop playing?
Yeah, I stopped playing. The music stopped. I'm like, the fuck?
Oh, I thought you were gonna power through it, but yeah.
No, I look over at my phone that's sitting on the chair next to my amp, and my poor friend Cohen is calling me. I'm like, my phone is on Do Not Disturb, and you called through the Do Not Disturb.
Does it tell you, or is it just like, it goes to voicemail and then you have to call again?
Yeah, it just goes straight to voicemail, and then you have to call again. That's the thing I don't like about Do Not Disturb, is that it goes straight to voicemail, so everybody assumes that you just didn't get the first one. I'm like, let it ring, but don't alert me that it's ringing.
There's no way just to completely turn it off.
No, as far as I know, there's not. So I'm like, oh shit, I reach over, I decline. I restart the song, go through the intro, do the thing, start jamming, phone goes off again, song stops. I'm like, bro, I not only did the first call not go through,
3
I declined
calls.
the second call. Then you had a third call that probably didn't go through, and then called a fourth time. I'm like, Cohen, you have never called me in my entire life. I love Cohen, but we don't talk on the phone. We hang out in person. Or text each other. So anyways, I answer the phone.
Does it play throughout the speakers?
No.
Oh.
I unplug it. I answer the phone. My entire family's just staring at me. And I'm like, hey buddy, I'm playing a gig and my phone is playing through the speakers as a backing track. And you just called me and stopped the music in the middle of a song. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, I'll call you back. Okay, bye. Plug it back in. And then I said, fuck this. Put it in airplane mode. Made sure all the songs are downloaded. Put it in airplane. I probably should have done that to begin with, but put it in airplane mode. Made sure all the songs are downloaded. Went on with the rest of the gig and it was fine. And then I called him back later and I was like, hey, what did you need earlier? He's like, oh, I just wanted to call and tell you that I went to GameStop and sold a bunch of games. They gave me $14. I'm like, why did you need to call and tell me that? My name's Jason.
Oh, perfect. My name's Kurt. And you're listening to Bird
Bones.
In full defense of Cohen, if that should happen to me, I would also call you. If I went to GameStop and I lost if I only got $14, I'm like, no, who's not going to believe this?
Jason.
Siri, call Jason 4 times.
Dude.
This is urgent.
And when I called him back, it sounded like he just awoke from the deepest sleep ever. I'm like, you called me an hour ago.
Wait, so I would call you that. I would call you if that happened. But you said you don't really talk to Cohen. Why you? Out of all this?
That's what I'm confused about. Cohen, if you listen to this, I love you. Ryan, if you send this to Cohen, I'll kill you. But I don't know. I don't know why he called to tell me that.
Jason, you're very friendly. I straight up I text you pictures of my poop. I call you when I'm having trouble on the toilet, mostly potty things. I call you regardless throughout the day. Everyone was like, oh man, you know who would eat this up? Jason. You're the best listener, I think. I think that's what it is. You are a perfect listener.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Other than that, though, you had a fun time with the gig?
It was a really fun time. I had to end it with Freebird,
I fucking love when you do that.
I wasn't going to because I don't know the slide part in the song. The lead guitar is the slide part, so I couldn't turn off the solo without turning off the slide part.
What's the slide part?
The
That's a slide?
Yeah, it's a beautiful slide part. I don't know that part because my rhythm guitarist in my old band always did that. So I just never learned it. And I was like, I'm not going to learn it for this gig.
Dude, you'd kill it with it. Is that where the thing where they put over their finger?
Yeah, dude.
You'd kill it.
No, I suck at slide
you should
guitar.
try it.
I have. I suck at it.
How?
I don't know. I've never been good. I've always tried and maybe I could get good. I think all my guitars are just set up wrong because you need really high action. The strings need to be high off the neck to really get a good sound. And I think I just put too much pressure on it. I'm sorry, I'm burpy today.
That one was atrocious.
It was, dude. That was water, body armor, and Coke.
Stop drinking those all through at the same time. You're gonna have the mud shits later.
I think I'm making a fucking jungle juice in my stomach.
I'm gonna ask you a dumb question, and you have to go easy on me.
Okay.
Slide guitars. How the fuck does that work? Isn't it just a metal thing that goes through your finger? But when you put it on the guitar, are you pushing down? How does, like, when you hit the note, when you hit the string, how does it work, Jason? Does it go off where your finger is? Well, obviously. But are you pushing on it?
Where your finger is.
Are you pushing just on it lightly?
Yeah, you just put light pressure on it. You don't put full pressure. Hold on, I'll show you a quick example. I'll try.
What are you gonna do it with? Do you have a slide?
I don't. I also don't have my amp plugged in, so this is going to sound really good. I'm probably about to spill Coke all over the place because I'm about to use this Coke can to give you an example.
Dude, pause real fast. Have you seen that guy on TikTok that does that? He performs live. You have to have seen it. It's guitars. He performs live and then he uses a beer bottle as his slide. Yeah, and then he chugs it. It's like, oh my God.
No, dude, that guy's badass. I wish to have 1% of that guy's coolness on stage.
How the fuck does he do that?
Let's see if this sounds good. Never mind. This is a shitty example.
Yeah, just explain with your words, Jason. I appreciate the effort though.
So you know how your finger, when you touch your finger to it, it shortens the string and makes the frequency higher?
Yeah, because you're shortening the string with your finger and then it hits that little fret part. But if you're on a slide, how does the slide affect anything if you're just pushing down on it again? Your slide becomes the fret.
Oh. The fret is there to have a hard surface for the string to touch. Your finger's too soft to be that hard surface, so you're touching it down to the fret. So when you play slide guitar, you play over where the little fret, like divider. So
theoretically, you could play slide guitar with a guitar with no fret things on it, right?
You can. You just wouldn't know where the frets are, but yeah.
Okay, so that was a perfect way of explaining it.
Honestly, I didn't connect those two pieces of that puzzle until just now. I haven't ever gave it that much thought. I'm probably going to be a pro slide guitarist now that I thought that through for more than half a second.
By the way, I have a bunch of music things for today, but side note, just because of the face you just made about like, I never made that connection. This is really stupid. Like 2 days ago, I was with Kylie and I was making tea and I was talking to her because I always I don't know. Do you drink tea a bunch?
Sweet tea, baby.
Yeah, you like sweet tea, but you buy like in the cans and things like that. I like to drink like hot tea with the tea bags.
Yeah, you're a little bitch.
I know, I'm a little fucking Welsh piece of shit. I was making tea with Kylie and she was making fun of me because I leave the tea bag in like the mug. And she's like, that's not actually like, that's going to make it bitter and things like that. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to just dip the tea bag in the hot tea a couple times and then throw it away. And I was like, oh, like this? And I was doing the tea and I was like, oh, fuck. This is why they call it teabagging. I was like, I never made that connection. I was like, I've been playing COD for years. I just thought like, I never really got it. I was like, you don't marinate your balls on the player's dead body. You just dip them like a tea bag. And I was like, oh, fuck, I get it now. Yeah, a little stupid, but
that's okay.
Do you forgive me?
Yeah, I forgive you.
I didn't mean to distract us that bad. I have a whole bunch of music questions for you. The whole thing that amazes me, I'm not trying to glaze you right now, but I have never been so jealous of someone's Spotify. I hope you know every time I can't find music, I go like, what's Jason been up to lately? You have like over 1,000 playlists or something on Spotify. You have some crazy number.
Do I really?
Yeah, dude, I swear you make a playlist for every car ride you've ever been on and they're all unique. So sometimes I just go through your Spotify and like your playlists, like, I see bands reoccur a lot. I see album songs reoccur, but for the most part, it's just like completely like different things. And I always go to your old band set list. And that's how I learned about Stevie Ray Vaughan. Because the other day you were also playing Stevie Ray. I know.
God.
Listen, I'm from California, okay? You played Stevie Ray Vaughan the other day for me. I was like, I like that. Like, what song was that? And then I saw Pride and Jordan. I was like, I think I know that one. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Is it called Mary Had a Little Lamb? Is that the one?
Yeah, that's one song. He didn't make that version, but like that's his. A lot of his songs are like covers of other songs.
Dude, I was fucking jamming. I was getting into it.
That song's fun. That's one of my favorite songs to play.
I see videos. I hate saying I see TikToks, okay? But in general pop culture, people for some reason don't like getting, quote, put on to music.
Yeah.
I kind of get it, but also I kind of don't get it. Where people like, they don't want their friend to know like, oh, you showed me this band. They have to act like I've known this band before you. What's your opinion on that? Because I hate it.
I always feel like music sticks better whenever you're the one to find it yourself, but it is toxic to act like somebody didn't show you or introduce you to a band. Like,
You think music hits better when you find it yourself, though?
I think so. Like finding Twin. Like then again, Spotify showed that to me. It was like somebody put that on a playlist somewhere.
Mhm.
But like I stumbled across it. I was like, oh shit, I gotta alert everybody. And now I have like all of my friends into that band. And I feel like it's rare for people to show me a band and I'm like, this hits home. And then I listen to that band. But I've been proven wrong sometimes. I couldn't name any examples, but I know that it's been so long, I don't know who recommended the music anymore. And I think it's just in my taste profile now.
I know, like everyone associates me with My Chem, but it's hard to remember. Like a long time ago,
you got me into My Chem.
Oh, you're welcome, bitch. But I am everyone's My Chem person. But it was a long time ago that my brother was like, "Hey, check this shit out." And I was like, in elementary school, and I go in his room and it was like, "When I was," and I was like, "What is that melody?" I always remember though where like I got my music from, and I try to make people. I genuinely go out of my way to let people know, like, "Hey, that band you showed me a long time ago, I love them." I had a friend. I showed them my Mellow Gold playlist. I could play it in the background. It's mostly like yacht rock kind of thing, but more chill. I don't really know. It's Mellow Gold, but I kind of loosely interpret the name of that genre. And they're like, "Oh, you might like this song." And every time I hear that song, I'm like, "That is a good fucking song." Like, not song of the week, but I think it's called Just a Thought. I think the band's called like Cross Country. It's called Just a Thought. The album art looks really cool. That's all I'll say. And I'm like, this is like my kind of music. And like, you showed me Twin. Every time I listen to Twin, I think about Jason. I'm like, what's Jason up to right now? I love when people show me music.
Yeah.
But you say it's better. It hits harder.
I also have no shame in like hearing a song that somebody's playing. And like, if I really like the song, I'm not going to sit there and just Shazam it and figure it out. I'm like, what song is this? I really like this. If it's something that I'm not sure about, like I'm like, I don't know if I like this, but I'm going to listen to it later. I'll Shazam it and I'll just keep it quiet because I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of like me realizing it's a shit song later. But if it's like something I'm like, this is my new bop for the week, I'll be like, this is really good.
That's what I'm always trying to do. Like, when I'm driving in the car and someone goes like, "Oh, I really like this song," like a band, like I love showing people bands. I'm like, "Oh, I just found out about this one. You might want to write this one down. It's called Jess and the Ancient Ones." Not like a little known band, but I just found them out. I was like, "Oh, I fucking love them." And I love showing them to all my friends and things like that. And I love when people ask me, "What song is this?" And they have their phone out. They're ready to save it for later on their Spotify. So I try to give other people that feeling. When I'm in the car with someone and they're playing a good song, I go, "What song is this? I like it." And you always see their eyes go, "Oh, like, thank you." Right? Why don't people enjoy that? I don't get it. I see this TikTok of the guy's like trying to Shazam his friend's music without him looking. And then when he sees him Shazamming it, he turns it off. It's a skit. And he's like, "Fuck that." And he turns it off. But it's like, I don't get it. I love showing and finding new. I love music, Jason.
I like sharing music with people and like experiencing new music together, especially getting people into bands that are like still making good music. It's like, dude, like when Twin comes out with a new album, I know that me and all of my homies are going to be on the Twin train, bro.
Is there anyone that's responsible that you would say is responsible for your music taste today?
My Granny Jenny, which is like my aunt's ex-husband's mom. So she's like a grandma to me, but we call her Granny Jenny. She's the one who got me into guitar, and she's the one who bought me Guitar Hero before I got a guitar to like prove my worth.
Dude, also Guitar Hero showed me a lot of my favorite shit, dude.
So Guitar Hero is like where like my dad, he introduced me to like Jet and AC/DC, and like we'd be cruising around in his 04 GTO. Like back when those came out, like I was just a baby, dude. I was like 4 or 5 maybe.
Still a baby.
But like I was old enough to like know, oh yeah, we're cruising around in the GTO listening to Jet.
Nice.
And like I was that young. We're like listening to Cold Hard Bitch, and he's like that car and like the music we listen to in it is the reason why I love cars and rock and roll today. Like that's just like, dude. It's also why I like red interiors. It had a red leather interior. That was the coolest car, dude. Yeah, and then Granny Jenny bought me Guitar Hero. As far as I know, I'm pretty sure she's the one who bought it for me because I wanted a guitar for Christmas, and they were like, absolutely not. You have to play Guitar Hero first. So thank God Guitar Hero is out, or else I wouldn't be a guitarist today. And then like literally 2 weeks later, I was playing songs on Expert behind my head, and they're like, we need to get this motherfucker a guitar. So for my birthday, that next May, I got a guitar.
And I was struggling to reach the orange key with my little fingers, and then like this kid's a lost cause. Don't buy him anything.
We gotta buy him a drum set.
Well, I was gonna make that joke. They gave me a drum set, but I don't know if that's a shit on drummers.
I know. That's why I made it. Because I remember you saying something about having a drum set, and I so badly wanted you to be a drummer, like in current day when I knew you. Because I was like, dude, me and Curtis could make the best band if he played the drums still.
I don't know if this is weird, but when I look in the mirror, I do see me looking like a drummer. but I have no rhythm whatsoever. I can keep rhythm for maybe like 5 taps of the shoe, and then after that, I'm losing track.
Dude, I know that I'm a musician, but I need a drummer to like keep my ass on beat. Because like I'll play stuff and then I'll be like, I wonder what happens if I put this to a metronome, and I'll match it up to the first part, and by the end, I'm totally off.
But are you ready for today's game? This is where you're going to really flex all this knowledge. Okay, today's game is called Passenger Princess.
Ooh.
You and I are going on a theoretical 10-hour long road trip.
Oh, baby. This is longer than the Uber drive.
Yeah, from Dallas, Texas to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I flew out to you and I was like, we're going to go visit the Breaking Bad house. That's our whole mission, okay?
Did you actually time this out? Is that actually a 10-hour drive? Because I feel like
Bitch, I did research. I did everything, okay? Yes, it's a little over 10 hours depending on what you take. We're going around 10 hours, okay?
Okay.
And you are going to give me every single song. And I don't get a single say in any of the songs, okay?
Okay.
So, I don't know, midday, we just loaded up the car. We're getting ready to go. What's the opening song that we start our adventure on? This is Pulling Out the Driveway.
Songs for the Dead.
Songs for the Dead?
I think.
Perfect. We drive for about 3 minutes and I go, fuck, I forgot my jacket. Hold on. We drive back. I get my jacket and I go, okay, wait, start that again. What's another song we do for the opening song? Second attempt, opening track. What are we jamming out to?
On the Road Again.
Perfect. Okay, now we're in Dallas. Okay, we're trying to get on the highway. I need music that hypes me up like we're still going on an adventure, but I will be turning it down every 5 seconds to be like, is that my turn? Is that my exit? You know what I mean? But I still need some hype up music.
Ooh.
Can't be too distracting. What is it?
Tush by ZZ Top. Simply because they say Dallas, Texas in that song.
Perfect. This is exactly why I wrote down the locations.
And Hollywood. So it like perfectly links us.
Now we're on the highway. We're still in the city. We're still in the DFW area. There's a lot of cars around. But if given the right motivation, I can speed around all these cars through traffic. You got 3 songs.
Ooh, okay.
3 songs to motivate me to zip by all the traffic and get out of here. Get out of DFW.
Okay. So we're going to start it off with Push It by Issue just because I know that would hype you up. That's a Need for two out of these 3 are from Need for Speed because they just have the best driving music.
Correct.
So we're going Push It by Issue. That gets you hyped up. That gets you going.
Nice.
Then we're going to do Conscience Killer by Black River Motorcycle Club because that's one of the best highway driving songs ever. And then to end it off with the best highway driving song ever, in my opinion, Highway Star by Deep Purple.
I can't say I know that one off the top of my head, but I'm going to trust you.
Oh, it's a song and it talks about having like a big honking V8 and like screaming down the highway. It's the coolest fucking song. It was the intro song to one of the rock, I think the first rock band.
Is that the music video where they're on top of the car and it's booking through the...
That's Highway
Okay,
Star.
then I have heard it. Okay, so that was a perfect one.
And it has one of the coolest, like, is it like an organ solo? I don't know what the hell it is. It's one of the coolest songs.
Okay, now.
Highway Star's a banger.
We escaped traffic. We're still kind of in the city-like area of DFW. We're not really around traffic though, but we've officially started our road trip. What is one album that we listen to? It doesn't get our full attention. We still turn it down every once in a while to talk to each other, but you know, it kind of officially starts the road trip.
One Stop Shop by Twin.
Ooh, you should have saved that one for later, but okay.
Oh, you bitch, why?
No, you no go backsies. That is a good album. I'm not complaining.
Dude, I could listen to that album on repeat for the rest of the trip. I'm not even lying.
Okay.
That's a perfect album to start a road trip for me.
Now we are officially like out of the city area. Okay, I haven't been in Texas in a minute, so bear with me. We're still hitting a couple cars every once in a while, but now the realization of a 10-hour road trip is starting to kick in. Do we embrace it, kind of like start mellowing down, or do we try to keep the vibes up with an energetic album?
So we're out of the city now, right?
We just left kind of DFW.
Okay, so let's just say that we're out of DFW. We've gone through Fort Worth and all that.
Greenery everywhere.
Okay. The album we're going to listen to is High Top Mountain by Sturgill Simpson.
I've never heard this one. This is
a nice country vibe. A nice upbeat country vibe. Also perfect for a road trip.
Is Jason catching on? I'm just made up this whole game just to steal some new albums and music from him. And then after that beautiful album, I'm assuming it's beautiful, ends. Then we're like, fuck, this is going to be a long ass fucking road trip. Then it starts to kick in. Now we're like, oh, let's get a little experimental. Let's put on a podcast. We get so bored.
I just literally thought of that.
What's a good podcast episode? Is it one that we try something new? Do we look up like, oh my God, Gerard Way's got an interview?
Yeah.
Or do you go, oh fuck, I love this episode of blah, blah, blah. And you full control. What podcast do you put on other than Bird Bones, obviously?
We're so full of ourselves. We're going to put on like 15 episodes of Bird Bones. And then we're going to be there.
We're going to laugh at our own jokes.
Honestly, I only really listen to podcasts by myself. But if I'm the passenger princess and you have no say, I'm probably going to put on an episode of the Smoking Tire podcast so we can listen to car talk for an hour.
Do you have like a specific episode in mind, or is it just...
Just whatever the latest one is, I guess.
Now we are in the middle of fucking nowhere. We want to chill out, but we do not want to fall asleep. I put peak immaculate vibes only. And like, we are quiet.
Oh, do I recommend another Sturgill Simpson album? Because he has a rock album too.
I don't never heard of Sturgill Simpson. Is this another person I'm going to get put on to right now?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Dude, Sound and Fury by Sturgill Simpson. And you need to watch it. He has a whole, they made like a whole animated like film to coincide with this album.
Do we watch it while I'm driving?
Yes, we're going to watch this while we're going down the road. No, Sound and Fury that's another album I'd like to put you on to.
Now, we have truly nothing to talk about. What album deserves my full undying attention?
I think at this point, I'm going to have to say Methodrone by the Brian Jonestown Massacre.
Okay.
It's an hour and 15 minutes. There's a couple of skips, but overall, if we were going to be quiet and just listen, that's a good one to do that too.
Is it a heavy concept album or just like really good songs?
Just really good songs.
Okay, but now we're driving and I'm like, are you fucking yawning? That album put you to sleep just a little bit. You're like, I'm just gonna take a quick little nap really fast. Here, I'll put something on for you. You're gonna put on what album do you put on for me? But I only get to hear the first half. Because you're gonna wake up during the last half.
Since I'm gonna be asleep, it's naturally gonna take away some of your energy. So I think to get you hyped up, I'm putting on Danger Days.
I was hoping you'd say Black Parade because I'm like, oh, like the first half of Black Parade, I listened to more than the last half. But Danger Days also
like
better first half, I think.
Dude, imagine like, wait, hold on. Oh, dude, Planetary goes in the first half. You're going to be so pumped up. And then I'll be awake for Vampire Money. Like, it's perfect.
And then you wake up and you're like, how's it going? Where are we? And I go, oh, Jason, you've been asleep for a minute. I'd like you to meet somebody. While you were asleep, I picked up a hitchhiker. He's in the back seat. You turn around and what you see is like a man wearing all black, a hat over his eyes. You can look at him for as long as you want and you still just cannot make out his face. He's very shy. You cannot get a read on him. You're like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, hello, how's it going? And he's like that. And then I go, isn't this awesome, dude? Isn't this cool? We picked up a hitchhiker. And you go, yeah, that's awesome. What song do you put on to tell me how you truly feel?
I'm going to put on Hey Man, Nice Shot.
What is that implying?
The song's basically about a suicide.
Oh,
so, it's like saying, hey man, nice shot. Like, good job, you killed yourself. That's basically me saying, you're going to get us killed.
So we listen to that song. I'm like, oh, it's pretty good. I turn around to our hitchhiker and I'm like, oh, did you like that one? And he kind of gives off a, I don't know, like you could do better. He gives off a vibe like that and you take that to heart. What album do you put on to be like, oh yeah, bitch? Try this on for size to really win over this hitchhiker.
So he's a hitchhiker wearing interesting, like concealing clothing. He's kind of
cannot get a good read on him. Yeah.
So this guy, because of his clothing and his overall demeanor, I have reason to believe he's a Nine Inch Nails fan.
Oh, okay.
They're all weird. So we're going to put on With Teeth by Nine Inch Nails. He's going to love that.
Okay, I think he gives you some nods. He's like, okay, like this,
Okay.
I guess you're kind of cool. He kind of earns your respect, right?
Yeah. And then I play closer and he's like, you want to fuck me like an animal? And then he just gets out.
Yeah, now he's scared for his life. Now we've been driving the hitchhiker for a while. We just finished that 9 Inch Nails. And now I'm like, okay, we should get gas. We're not low on gas, but we should pull over, right? It's getting kind of dark. Let's just get gas right now.
Okay.
I pull over to a gas station. We're the only one there. We're kind of like in the middle of nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to get some gas. You can go get a snack or whatever you want. Leave your phone though. Like, can you put on a song for me? What song do you put on?
I'm going to be funny. I'm going to put on the Jeopardy theme song.
Yeah.
Or wait, is it the Jeopardy waiting music?
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, I'm putting that on.
Yeah.
You're getting that while I'm gone.
Okay, so I'm pumping gas. I'm like, good job, Jason. Thanks. Ding, ding, ding. You get out of the car. Then the hitchhiker goes out too. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess he's got to go pee or he's got to go get some snacks, whatever too. So now you're going to check your email, Jason.
Oh, shit.
I have sent you a PDF. If you check your mail, you will find a PDF of 10 short stories that I wrote at 6 a.m. this morning.
Oh, my God.
I don't remember half of them. You are going to roll a random number generator.
This is unhinged.
You are going to roll a random number generator. The first number you get, you're going to read that story. Mute yourself. Turn off your camera. You're going to read that story. This is what happens while I'm just pumping gas, okay?
Okay.
So I'm like, do.
Okay, we got number 9, fellas. Let's scroll all the way down here. You and the hitchhiker enter the store together. He walks straight to the bathroom while you take a slightly longer route to the candy aisle. After deciding that you'll buy something after you pee, you walk into the bathroom and you see something that you'll never forget. You've seen people piss at the urinal with their pants at their ankles before, but this is different. This is a full-grown silverback gorilla pissing at the urinal with a man costume on the floor around its ankles. It turns around to look at you, seemingly unfazed, as if this is normal. To not alarm it, you walk up next to it and begin pissing. By the time you're both at the sinks together, his man suit is back on and he looks exactly how he did back when you first met him. You both walk out to the car and hop in.
Oh, hey, Jason, you're back. Oh, hey, hitchhiker. Let's get back on the road, Jason. Give us some jams. You have 3 songs to tell me what happened.
Hold on, I got this.
And remember, you don't want to let the hitchhiker know. I don't know what story you got. You don't want to let the hitchhiker be too obvious, okay? It's something that's just for me and you. I got to go, oh my God, Jason.
All right. So I'm going to try to give you cues that something is up without alerting.
Okay. I think maybe you hop in and you give me the eye look. Where I'm like, oh shit, like what happened?
Okay. And I'm going to
but you can't text me.
Yeah, I'm not going to text you, but I'm going to kind of make you aware that I'm doing something.
Okay.
The first song that I'm going to play is Back in Black by AC/DC.
So like, okay, Jason, I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? That one, I'm going to keep it real with you, doesn't lead me on. I'm like, okay, well, he's trying to tell me Back in Black. Interesting.
Okay.
What the fuck's going on, Jason?
And then the next song that I'm going to play is Silver by the Pixies.
I'm like, Silver, I don't know this song. Okay, pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to give specific emphasis on the artist for this.
Okay. I'm like, oh, Jason, what's this next song by?
So I'm going to play Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. And I'm going to very blatantly keep pointing at Gorillaz.
I'm like, what's Jason trying to tell me? I'm going to keep it real with you. If you did that to me, I'm like, okay, Back in Black.
I might have to
Pixies,
play Back in Black again.
Gorillaz. Okay, I'm like, that's interesting. Okay.
Silver Gorillaz.
Now, as we're driving, you can see up ahead, we're in the middle of nowhere. There's like a billboard up ahead and there's a cop kind of behind it. And he's obviously got a speed trap. I don't see it. Is there anything that you are trying to tell me? You see, oh my God, there's a cop. Like, are we in danger? Do you put on a song to make me get the cops? Do you make me speed to the cop?
Okay, I'm gonna put it on Freebird and skip straight to the solo. I'm going to make you floor it.
I go, oh my God. Damn, burn it. Wait, play it for me, Jason. I'm like, well, he skipped right to the middle. Okay, pedal to the middle. I fucking book it. Boop, boop, boop. Cop pulls me over. Cop's at our window. And I'm like, oh, fuck, dude, did you see that cop? And you're like, no, I didn't see that cop. And I'm like, sorry, hitchhiker, this should only take a minute. What do you play to now tell the cop? What do you play? So the cop's like, can you step out of the car for a minute?
We gotta fuck the police, dude.
Okay. We gotta fuck the police. Okay.
We have to.
Where are we? Are we in New Mexico? Do the cops take that kind of, shit?
I don't think they take that kind of shit anywhere, bro.
Okay, now he's like, can you, all 3 of you step out the car? We step out the car. We got our hands on top of our car. They're checking us. Now, no music. What do you tell the cop, Jason?
Officer, that motherfucker back there is not real.
The officer starts checking the man and he goes, and then he fucking runs off into the Mojave Desert.
I should have played Brass Monkey.
Yeah, that funky monkey. That one?
Yeah.
Okay, I will give it to you. We survived that one. Okay?
Thank God.
We'll go through the other stories in here because I wrote down a lot. So we survived that story. What's the song that we play as we the cop's like, oh my God, good job, boys. Get out of here. I'll go call animal reinforcement, whatever. We drive off. What's the song you put on to be like, to celebrate surviving death?
We're going to need something to kind of chill out, but like vibe to. We're going to go with the Snoop Dogg version of Riders on the Storm.
Okay, that's what we ride off to. We're heroes. You love that song.
I'm sure that sounded fucking stupid.
Now, obviously, while we're driving, we have nothing better to do. I'm like, hey, get the microphone. We're going to record a Bird Bones episode. We record a quick Bird Bones episode telling the story of what just happened. What's that episode's song of the week?
Bro, I think we gotta go Brass Monkey by the Beastie Boys.
That funky monkey.
Brass Monkey Junkie.
We're in New Mexico. What's the vibe? One album.
With us being in the desert again, I feel like we have to go back to Queens of the Stone Age.
Ooh, okay.
I think my album of choice for that might be Like Clockwork. Because that one, it ends off with Smooth Sail. Or not ends off, but one of the last songs is Smooth Sailing. So I'm like, we made it. It's smooth sailing from here on out.
Beautiful. Poetic.
It's vibey.
Now we pull up to the lady's house. We see the Breaking Bad house. She's outside. She sees us. We're driving by in our nice little car. You're hanging out the window. You got a fucking pizza in your hand ready to be thrown on her roof. What song are we blasting?
I don't know why this just popped into my head, but why do I want to listen to the Phineas and Ferb theme song while I throw a pizza onto this lady's roof? There's 104 days of summer vacation. And I just like toss it a pizza.
That was a beautiful game of Passenger Princess. You ended it beautifully.
Oh my God.
Why you got your phone in your hand? You're queuing up another banger episode and giving us a 4 to 5 star review. Why don't you also queue up Jason's song of the week? He's probably drained from giving out songs, but I think he's got one more in him. What are we listening to, Jason?
The song has nothing to do with anything we talked about in the episode, but I just found it and I've been waiting to put it on.
Okay.
It's called Mistakes by Sharon Van Etten. This song's a banger. It actually made me stop what I was doing to go listen to the whole album. Whole album's good. This song's probably my favorite still.
Got anything special about it? How'd you find it?
I literally opened up Spotify. I can't remember what playlist I hit, but there's like a playlist at the top. And I was like, ooh, this looks good. I clicked on the playlist and I was like, ooh, it's got Sharon Van Etten on it. I know her from somewhere. Like I've heard her music before. I wonder what that song's going to be like. I hit shuffle and it played that song. And I didn't even listen to anything else on the playlist. I just went straight to the album. And then I took a nap.
Beautiful. And you woke up, there was a hitchhiker in your backseat. Thank you for listening to Bird Bones.